What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And listen, today you already know what's going on. Listen, we got to review these. We got to talk about these bad boys right here. The new Airpods Pro. Today, I want to break down the 5 C's of why I actually purchased this and the main reasons why you should consider this or not consider that when you're looking at headphones like these and you're in a position like me. You know, maybe somebody as a music producer, somebody in the audio realm, audio world. I won't say I'm necessarily an audiophile, but I have been in the music industry over 20 years, and honestly, audio is my life. So I want to break down these AirPods as it relates to the 5 C's I usually take to comprehend a purchase. And what are those 5 C's, Hen? Let me tell you right now. I'm talking about convenience, comfort, control, character, and cost. We're gonna break down all of those as it relates to the AirPod Pros today. Y'all ready? I know I am. Let's go!
The business.
So listen, I've had these AirPod Pros for just about a week now. And when I saw Apple announce this last week, I knew it was a no-brainer for me, given the fact that I've still had these original AirPods since the beginning of 2017. Whenever these came out, I got them like a week later. And to be honest, I've had these same ones. They're really banged up. I mean, they've stood the test of time, I guess you would say, based off the fact that, you know, I haven't lost them and they haven't broke. So shout out to Apple for making probably one of the most durable products that I've ever purchased. Because I've literally carried these with me every day, damn near, unless I left them at the house. You know that feeling when you leave your AirPods at the crib. Yeah, I've had these with me on my person almost every day for almost 3 years now. And they're still holding strong. And the battery life seemingly still steady. But let's get into these AirPod Pros as it relates to me as a music producer and somebody who does music production, audio all the damn time. First things first, let's talk about convenience. So a lot of the products that I go for nowadays, high on my priorities will be convenience. I love a small form factor. You know, I love things that I can carry with me with no issue, and things that just get the job done. And, you know, the AirPods, the original AirPods, they did that very well for me, just for, you know, consuming content, listening back to things. I don't know, I use these headphones more than I use any other headphones in my life, given the fact that I had these with me every single day. Now, on my desk here, I have a plethora of different headphones that I've used over the years. And I'll start talking about that as it relates to all of these C's, the convenience, the comfort, the cost, character, all of that. So, you know, I would say my favorite headphones when it comes to being a music producer are these. These are the Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. And I've had so many versions of these headphones, it's insane. I probably have 5 of them at the studio right now. I love these gunmetal grays. I've had these forever. You know, very natural sound, very easy to kind of get a solid mix going. And they just work. Now these, you know, these retail about $150. If you're somebody in the market for just some good mixing music production headphones, I would go with something like these off the rip. Let's not even talk about convenience, because we're thinking about, you know, all the things that you need to do to be able to get a good sound out of your music. But if you're in the market for some wireless headphones, specifically some with the new, you know, active noise cancellation, and, you know, all the things that these AirPod Pros will give you, you know, you can't go wrong with these. I mean, with these H1 chips connecting directly to any iOS device, if you're an iOS fanboy like myself, you'll know that, you know, these AirPods are so convenient switching in between, you know, different products, between your iPad, your Mac, your phone, your iPhone, all of those things. It just makes things so simple. And now with the Pros being able to give you the active noise cancellation when you're on, you know, someone like a plane or a train or a bus, or even just, you know, in a loud environment and you really need to dial in on what you're listening to, these have worked extremely well. I've taken these on a few flights already the last week, and, you know, just canceling out that noise, but still having the convenience of these AirPods have been great. So on a convenience level, these things are super, super clutch. What about comfort? I know a lot of people have talked about comfort, you know, and as it relates to these, giving the fact that they have these new, tips on them to give a nice good seal in your ear. For me, I never had an issue with these original AirPods fitting in my ear. They fit pretty good. I guess I got, my ears just naturally fit these AirPods, so I never had an issue with those. But with these, I'm getting an even tighter seal. And so for me, comfort is always a thing that I look forward to when I make a purchase, right? And going back to something like these HEH and 50Xs from Audio-Technica, I can wear these things for hours. But what about some of the others that I have on the table? You know, any DJ will probably recognize these. These are the Sony MDR V6s. They've had different names over the years, but, classic over-ear headphone. If you're a DJ, if you're a producer, get a pretty nice balanced flat sound out of these. When it comes to comfort, these are my Hi-Fi Man HE 500s, and these are extremely expensive audiophile headphones that I used to mix out of. Unfortunately, it broke. So, it's pulling it too wide. But these weren't the most comfortable. They're a little heavy on my head, but they give you awesome, very, very clear sound. And I've had these for years. Should probably get these fixed because these cost a fortune. But what about these? These are basically comparable in-ears to these, right? These are the Audio-Technica ATH, I forget, E40s, but they're the in-ear versions. And they're a lot more portable than something like this. And so when it comes to comfort, they have the same kind of tips that your AirPod Pros have. They weren't the best fitting for my ear, but you can easily take this part of the cord and wrap them around your ear, and they will stay in your ears just fine, right? I had these so that I would not get any latency when I was doing production on the go, and I wanted a small form factor. Y'all know I love small form factor, being mobile, being on the go. So I've tried so many speakers, so many headphones over the years. When it comes to comfort, it's just making sure that, I can stand to hear what I need to hear out of those cans or speakers for hours. The AirPod Pros, they're very, very comfortable. Even with its transparency mode, when I put it in my ears, I can leave these in my ears for hours, and they're still just very comfortable in my ear. So with the transparency mode, it's easily for you to keep them in your ears, listen to the things, all the stuff that's around you, and, you never have to worry about not hearing your wife calling. Yeah. Or your kids. But, for the most part, these things are super, super comfortable. And I would say that they're about the same comfort for me as the original AirPods, even though they give you a better, tighter fit. So let's talk about control, right? What type of control do you have over, these AirPods? With these new AirPods, you get this touch kind of squeezing thing to turn it from transparency to active noise cancellation, or even to turn it off. You can do a single little press to be able to pause and play your music, but also, changing it with the long press from transparency to active noise cancellation. That's basically the control that you have with these. I know on the original AirPods, you had this kind of tapping method to control, your, different play, pause, next or whatever, answer a call. I wish that they had volume control somewhere where you can maybe slide your finger up and down, but yeah. It's whatever. But also other headphones with active noise cancellation, kind of like the Sonys or some of the others, they'll have the ability to adjust the amount of active noise cancellation that comes in between you and your headphones. And these don't have that. So, they have a little bit of lack in control when it comes to not having, those type of, availabilities directly on the headphones themselves or actually in the phone. Take some regular cans like these ATH and 50s. There's tons of ways that you can actually control these to get the sound that you want, right? You can plug them in directly into your device and have a natural sound that has, the characteristics of whatever headphones you have going on. But what I've been using for a few years is these DACs, these digital to analog converters, right? Right now I have 3 of them here that I've used forever, right? This is the Dragonfly, the black joint. It's going to give you great digital to analog conversion. This one is made by Spectra. I've talked about all of these over the last few years. This is a USB-C digital audio converter, and this is the original one that I had. This is by FiO, digital analog conversion. Just giving you even more quality, even more bump, even more bass, even more clarity to your sound. So if you're looking for an even better sound and even more control over a natural headphone, you can put these in between, you know, your headphones and your device and get even more control over the sound. If you're going for convenience, if you're going, you know, for, just something that's very mobile and portable, you're going to want to have something like these AirPods with you. They have enough control to be able to get the job done. All of these headphones are going to have a signature character, whatever, whether it's a flat sound, a more bassy sound that you might find in beats, a more upper mid that you might find in bows, a more prominence, whatever you're finding in specific headphones, right? They all have a character, a sound. So how do these AirPods sound as it relates to me being in music production and how I do, music production on a mobile level? When it comes to the difference between the original AirPods and these AirPod Pros, if you turn off the active noise cancellation and the transparency, and you just have them in your ears versus having the original AirPods in your ears, you're not going to see a drastic difference. And I know people like Marquez Brownlee and some of these other guys like Snazzy, forget his name, but he did an excellent review on these as it relates to being an audiophile. You're not getting a tremendous boost between the version 1 and these AirPod Pros when it comes to character, when it comes to its sound. But when you turn on active noise cancellation and you have that seal in your ear, you're getting a tighter bass, you're getting an overall better, wider sound, and you're just getting an overall better seal in your ear, so you're getting a better sound as it relates to the music or whatever's coming directly in from these headphones. And for me, being in music, people want to know how's the sound, how's the character, how's the latency. I would never recommend these as your only headphones if you're a music producer, if you're an engineer, for somebody who's creating music on a daily basis, because they have latency. And what's latency as it relates to music production? That's the time it takes for you to hit a keyboard or hit a drum pad and that sound be able to come back into your ear. With headphones that are wired and they're going directly into your device, you have no latency. When you're using Bluetooth, there's a little bit of latency. And I know that they've improved the latency between the AirPod Pros and the original AirPods, but it's still not enough for you to be able to create on the go like that. But you can audition and you can listen back to a lot of your stuff still using these. And I know a ton of professional audio engineers and music producers who listen and kind of audition their sounds using their AirPods. So don't think this isn't an invaluable tool when it comes to music production. It can be very valuable when it comes to auditioning, when it comes to listening back to stuff, and even when it comes to maybe even starting out and getting an overall balance of your sound. Because if you've already recorded your stuff in and you don't have to worry about latency, you can press play and start to mix and balance your music using some of these. And given the fact that these are the most popular headphones in the world right now, you could be, real to say that these headphones will be the ones that people are going to be listening to your music on. So if you can make sure your headphones sound good on these, that, most people will be hearing them the same way that you're hearing them on these devices. And with the Pros, you're just getting an even better sound when it comes to character. Last but not least, let's talk about cost, because, these are a $90 premium over the original AirPods and the AirPod 2s. Is it worth the upgrade if you already have the AirPod 2s or maybe the original AirPods? Now, I would say this. These are about $150 headphones. You can get big headphones like these, $600-700. Even something like these. These are the Sennheiser Ambeo Smart Headphones. I've had these for a while. Shout out to Apogee and Sennheiser for sending these over. These have active noise cancellation, transparency mode, but they're wired. So I usually keep these with me in my sling if I need to, do some production and I don't want to worry about latency. These are small, they're lightweight, they can give me great sound quality from, Sennheiser, but these are still, just as much expensive as these AirPod Pros. I think they're about $199, $249, something like that. So these aren't inexpensive at all. But if we're comparing just these two, if you're trying to make a purchase or an upgrade, I would say if you're really somebody that's on the go and are in very noisy environments, you're going to see a drastic change in, the way you can hear audio with the active noise cancellation in these Pros, right? And then having that transparency mode to be able to keep them in, be able to hear things around you, they're just even more convenient than these. The fact that these have wireless charging, I have the originals, they don't have wireless charging, that's an added bonus. So if you have the original still and you want wireless charging and you're in a noisy environment and you can, pretty much accept the fact that these cost $250, it's a no-brainer if you can make that cost. Now, if you can't and you're just looking for something that you need on the go, the original AirPods are still holding it down. And like I said, I've had these for almost 3 years and they're still, up until last week, I was still using them every single day. So, what else can I say? These AirPods, these AirPod Pros, they're the most convenient, comfortable, with good character at a cost with minimal control that you can buy. I don't know. Those are my 5 C's, but it was a no-brainer for me because I knew that having active noise cancellation in an AirPod would be a game changer any way it goes. So listen, that's my 5 reasons why, these are a no-brainer for me. And as a music professional, as somebody who deals with audio every day, I can tell you that these things will get the job done, and they are an incredible tool for a music producer. They're not your only tool, let's be real, but they are a great tool to have in your toolkit. So that's that. These are the AirPod Pros, and I highly recommend them if you're in the look for, some active noise headphones that are conveniently able to put in your pocket and be on the go. So that's it for today. I'm really enjoying these AirPods, and if you pick some up, let me know if you've, enjoying them as much as I am in the comments below. But, thank you for watching as always, and I will see y'all in the next one.